All right, let's dive right into this. Welcome to This Explainer, where we're tackling the ultimate clash of lifestyles, Manhattan versus Brooklyn. You know, New York City is this incredible, sprawling metropolis, but let's be honest, it can also be incredibly intimidating. Whether you're looking to sign a lease, maybe buy a brownstone, or just plan a flawless 5-day trip, the decisions you make before you even set foot on the pavement are going to completely define your experience. So today we're breaking down the data, the real costs, and those insider survival tactics you absolutely need to conquer the concrete jungle.
So here's our roadmap for This Explainer. We'll start with Manhattan versus Brooklyn, then we're breaking down the costs, navigating the transit maze, taking a look at the congestion pricing era, and finally, surviving the tourist traps. Let's get to it.
It all really starts right here. Where should you base your NYC life? It's the core question that drives literally every single real estate search and travel itinerary in the city. And honestly, getting this wrong, it's the fastest route to physical, mental, and financial burnout. But getting it right, well, that unlocks the real magic of New York.
Okay, Section 1, Manhattan versus Brooklyn.
This brilliantly illustrates the big trade-off. Manhattan, it's all about that unmatched 24/7 density. We're talking supreme walkability to your office, cultural institutions, and world-class dining. Plus, if you're buying, Manhattan offers this really deep resale market with international liquidity. Brooklyn, on the flip side, kind of trades that relentless buzz for a tighter-knit community vibe. You get abundant green spaces, like the absolutely gorgeous Prospect Park, and a much more laid-back, family-friendly atmosphere where you actually feel like you have some room to breathe.
Now, to survive either borough, you really need to understand what we call the anchor and explore philosophy. A huge mistake people make, especially visitors, is borough hopping. Trying to see the Statue of Liberty in the morning, hitting the Met in the afternoon, and then rushing to Brooklyn for pizza at dinner. No way. You're going to spend your entire day stuck underground on the subway, completely drained. Instead, you've got to anchor yourself. Pick the right home base, schedule just one main anchor attraction a day, and then just explore a walkable 15 to 20-minute radius around it. Managing your energy here is honestly just as important as managing your wallet.
Moving right along to Section 2, breaking down the costs.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how it busts a massive myth. A lot of people think Brooklyn is just the cheap alternative. Well, it's not cheap, but the value proposition is totally different. The average monthly rent in Manhattan sits around $4,547, compared to Brooklyn's $3,700. Median income is higher in Manhattan, too. But look at the purchasing power. A $1.1 million budget in Manhattan might snag you a pretty standard one-bedroom condo. But that exact same $1.1 million in Brooklyn, that buys you a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo in a highly desirable neighborhood like Park Slope or Carroll Gardens.
And that brings us to this absolutely crucial number, 30 to 40%. Across the board, assuming an equivalent budget, that's the average amount of extra living space you gain by choosing Brooklyn over Manhattan. We're talking an extra bedroom, maybe a home office if you're a hybrid worker, or even your own private outdoor space. You're basically trading the immediate convenience of Manhattan for some serious square footage.
All right, let's jump into Section 3, navigating the transit maze.
Let's run through some rapid-fire survival hacks for the NYC transit system, because it is a beast. First up, the old Metro card is pretty much history. It's all about Omni now. Tap and go with your phone or a contactless card. And the brilliant part here, there's a 12-ride cap. Once you hit $34 in a single week, Monday to Sunday, every ride after that is completely free. Just remember the one-device rule. Do not tap your phone on Monday and your physical card on Tuesday, or you're going to reset your cap. Oh, and a quick warning for my Brooklyn folks. Beware the G train. It's that notorious local line that skips Manhattan entirely, and let's just say it operates on its own schedule. Finally, and this is huge if you're visiting from abroad, grab an eSIM before you even land. You need live data to track subway delays, and you definitely don't want to be eating international roaming fees just to figure out how to get to Times Square.
But hey, what if you want to skip the underground chaos entirely? Let me introduce you to the ultimate commuter luxury, the NYC Ferry. For just $4, you can glide right along the East River. If you happen to live in waterfront Brooklyn neighborhoods, think Dumbo, Williamsburg, or Red Hook, this is a total game changer. Stunning skyline views, a guaranteed seat, and actual fresh air. It literally turns a stressful, crowded subway ride into a breezy mini-adventure.
Section 4, the congestion pricing era. 4.8 miles per hour. Let that sink in for a second. That is the average speed of traffic in Midtown Manhattan during rush hour. It is literally a crawl. Honestly, on a lot of days, walking is factually faster than sitting in a yellow cab. And this level of gridlock has some really severe impacts on public health, emergency response times, and overall economic productivity.
So the crucial point is how the city is addressing this through the first major congestion pricing plan in the U.S. To enter the congestion relief zone, which is basically anywhere in Manhattan south of 60th Street, passenger vehicles are looking at a $15 toll, small trucks $24, and large trucks $36 during those peak hours. Based on the environmental impact assessment, this policy is designed to reduce traffic in that zone by 17%, all while generating about $15 billion to fund some very urgently needed upgrades to the public transit system.
And finally, Section 5, Surviving the Tourist Traps.
Okay, let's talk about Times Square. It's spectacular, for sure, but it's also ground zero for the infamous costumed character hustle. Listen, Elmo and the Statue of Liberty might look super friendly, but they're aggressive freelancers who will absolutely demand $20 to $50 the second you take a photo. So here is your survival protocol. First, no eye contact. Treat them like scenery. Second, if they approach you, give a firm no thank you and just keep walking. Third, never ever let them physically touch you or put an arm around your kids. And fourth, if you somehow get cornered and things feel a bit tense, keep a single $5 bill ready in your pocket. Hand it over as an escape payment, cap your losses, and just walk away.
Another massive trap is the Midtown rush hour from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. The sidewalks right around Fifth Avenue and Rockefeller Center, they basically turn into a slow-moving human traffic jam. But here's an amazing insider hack for you. Use the Rockefeller Center Underground Concourse. It's this vast, surprisingly clean subterranean network connecting buildings all the way from 47th to 51st Street. So while everyone else is up above, fighting for an inch of sidewalk space, you can bypass the crowds entirely, completely shielded from the madness.
Okay, one last vital tip before we wrap up. New York is a modern digital city, right? Apple Pay and Omni work almost everywhere. But showing up with absolutely zero cash is a total rookie mistake. If you really want to experience the authentic outer boroughs, like grabbing food from those incredible immigrant-run stalls at the Queens Night Market, hitting up a neighborhood bodega, or just grabbing a hot dog from a cart, you need physical bills. Keep $20 to $40 in small denominations on you. It gives you the flexibility to actually participate in the local economy, and it ensures you can tip your hotel staff properly without frantically running around looking for an ATM.
Let's move to this final thought and see how this all builds together. We've covered real estate costs, transit hacks, and street smarts. But as one of our sources so perfectly puts it, the Brooklyn versus Manhattan decision is ultimately a values question, not a price question. The data tells you what you get. Only you can weigh whether what you get is worth what you give up. Whether you prioritize that extreme walkability and a deep resale market, or you're all about extra square footage and green spaces, the city absolutely has a place for you. You just have to know how to navigate it. So ask yourself, what are you willing to trade to live your perfect New York City life?